It's a workout.
Hey KOZ Nation, it's TJ Greaney, and I am in the Atlanta airport, and been on the road 9 days. Been to 2 different conferences, met some of you guys there, been around the Atlanta, Georgia area, and but so next month the curriculum is fishing, and Cody Greaney, my oldest son and the KOZ professional bass angler who is traveling around the country fishing tournaments for us and for you, is he did a KOZ TV for you guys. So I'm going to flip this over to him, and I want to encourage you, go to his website, go to his social media, and we'll put a link on there somewhere. Not sure how we'll do that, but we'll get Billy to help us with that. But go to his social media and follow him, and if he's coming to your area, you might just get him to stop by and visit with you and your men, you guys, or you can get maybe get some of your boys to a weigh-in on Saturday where he's there and get a shout out from the stage. So follow Cody. Here he is. It's KOZ TV for April fishing.
Hey man, Cody Ryan Greaney here, just getting off the lake, and man, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I was supposed to do a video with TJ, and I just felt convicted to reach out to you guys now, and whether he uses this or sends this to y'all or not, I think fishing month, or the month of fishing, is coming up, and I think it's you know, maybe something I can shed some light on. And I actually had the Holy Spirit speaking to me just now while I was loading the boat up, and I thought I would teach y'all, you know, maybe explain some ways to take the kids fishing and do something like that. But and I still may, but there's something a little bit deeper that I realized. I was watching a father and a son, it looked like. I mean, I'm just guessing. Father and a son launching a little aluminum boat right here at the boat ramp, and man, I saw him struggling. The trailer was getting jackknifed. The boy had the rope, you know, was holding the rope while the dad was backing in and kept jackknifing the trailer, and the boat was half off. And my instinct was to jump in and help, and something just kept me from doing that. And one of them being that I didn't want to take that away from the father being the authority. I didn't want to jump in and rescue a father, and you know, that can be hard on a man, I believe. Sometimes when another man, especially in front of your kids, you know, does something, takes over when you're supposed to be the leader in that situation. So I watched, and the boy ended up like to his knees in water, and I've got short sleeves on, but I wish I'd have put my jacket back on. It's kind of cool. And you know, his shoes were trashed. He was up in the water trying to pull the boat off. There was another guy on the boat ramp yelling at him which way to, you know, keep backing up, don't back up, you know. And this was just another random guy on the boat ramp being very helpful. And then I saw him, you know, he finally got the boat off, and the boy was standing on the bank just dripping, sopping wet from the waist down, and holding the boat there with the rope, and they're still on the bank trying to get the motor started. It's a brand new aluminum boat. It looks, obviously is not something they've done a bunch. The trailer looked brand new, and it made me realize that when you guys, I am not a professional or perfect in any which way of the manner, particularly with kids, and I can use y'all's help in all arenas. But one thing I do pay attention to particularly are the outdoors, and the outdoors with kids, and obviously and my daughter, and how I treat those situations. And I just had the conviction that I needed to make sure that you guys knew that regardless of what y'all do for your month of fishing, that it stays fun, and that the fun is there, that the adventure is what it's all about. It's not about catching fish. And I want to reach in on that a little bit here in a second, but it's about the fun and the adventure. And if y'all do have a boat or something, that you either, before the boys get there, have one of the guys take care of the boat and get it in the water, or make it an adventure. And make sure that these boys aren't going to be miserably uncomfortable after the situation. I feel for that boy that's going to be out in that boat, now soaking wet, and it's getting cooler, the sun's going down, and so those things I'm very adamant about, is that if the dad would have been laughing and jumped out. I know it's hard though in those moments. It's so hard to sometimes just fake that you're having fun, fake joy, fake it. That's the memory they're going to remember. If you're frustrated and ticked off and grumpy, that's what they're going to associate that fishing trip with. It's not going to be anything else than, boy, I don't want to do that again. He was grumpy. I don't want to go fishing with him again. He was not very fun to be around. So just keep it light, keep it fun, make it part of the adventure. If something goes south, as far as the fishing goes itself, this was something I definitely wanted to touch on, is that I don't like fishing. I say this all the time. As a grown man, I do not like fishing. This is my career. This is a big part of what I do for a living. And I don't like fishing, but I like catching. And that started very early. The catching part is the crucial part in hooking a young boy, a young man, into fishing, getting them interested in it. So, with that being said, you may not be at a place or have a way to catch a bunch of perch or white bass or largemouth bass or catfish where y'all are going, and you know that. You will know that within the first 30 minutes that you're not probably going to catch a bunch of fish where you're at. And remember that as well. And that it doesn't focus, that your full time is not solely focused. Have backup ideas, backup plans, a casting competition, a knot tying competition, different activities that you can bring in to the day, the adventure, if catching doesn't end up being a huge factor in the day. It doesn't have to be for it to be a fun, successful day and being around the water. It doesn't always have to be about catching. And I know a lot about that. This year, I've had the toughest start that I've probably ever had, the most humbling and downright humiliating at times start, unfortunate in some instances, start that I've had in my first two major events. But just talking to you guys and the Holy Spirit talking to me today, I just remembered that, and seeing that boy and seeing that father just reminded me that it's the joy of being outside. It's the adventure. You don't know what you're going to get into exactly when you're out and you're on the lake or on a pond or around a river fishing. And to remember that that's the important part. Write the story, have backup plans if catching is not going to be part of it. And then just know that if something does go south, something does get challenging, something is tough, it starts to rain, the boat is giving y'all issues, or every rod and reel's got tangled and is a mess, that you have ideas and backup to continue that day where it remains fun and adventurous, because that's what those boys are looking for and thrive on and love. And again, I'm no professional in any sense of the word, but this is something I am adamant on about. My daughter, my personal daughter, we have not had a catching trip yet, because it just hasn't allowed itself to be in the right place at the right time. She's 4 years old and she hadn't had a catching trip yet. And so we've been fishing, but it's been very short spurts, because I know 15, 20 minutes in that this is not going to be a catching day, and that she's just going to have continual action to keep her interested. So I have plans, and have had plans each one of those times to, during the summer last year, it was, I had a floaty thing, and I pulled her around behind the boat and the trolling motor, and she just had a ball and remembered jumping in the lake and that whole thing. So remember to have those things in addition to, in case it's not a catching deal, because you will burn them out if it's all about catching fish and the fish aren't cooperating. I can guarantee I spent days and days and days and days on the water this year, and haven't had very many catching days so far yet. So I love you, men. I appreciate you guys. I'll actually be seeing some of you as I travel across the country this year. Excited for that. And touch base or reach out if you have any questions or ideas or comments that you need some help with. So, as TJ says, regulators, mount up.